Hello, welcome to our online engagement event for the CN Industrial Area. My name is Natalie Bode and I'm the Senior Transportation Engineer responsible for neighborhood traffic reviews. I'm joined tonight by Julian Petrus, the Project Manager for the CN Industrial Neighborhood Traffic Review. And we're also joined by Mayor Neil Flores, another member of the Neighborhood Traffic Review team. She'll be helping us behind the scenes to manage the different screens. Please note that the meeting tonight will be recorded and posted to the Engage page for the CN Industrial Neighborhood Traffic Review. This will allow anyone who was unable to participate tonight to watch the video and let us know if they have any additional traffic concerns. We're still learning how online meetings work, so we'd appreciate your patience as we go through our materials tonight. To ensure that our meeting runs as smoothly as possible and that we minimize technical difficulties with audio, we ask that you please type your comments in the question and answer box, and I will read them out a bit later. It looks like we don't have anyone currently online right now, but we'll go through all of the materials and hope that anyone who has an interest in this neighborhood will watch the video and contact us with their comments. So I hope that everyone has had a chance to review our video series. It provides a good overview about the neighborhood traffic review process, common solutions that we use to address traffic issues, and some of the traffic concerns that have been brought to our attention previously by residents in the CN Industrial Area. At this point, we're looking to get comments from you. You're our local experts in the neighborhood, and we rely on your knowledge to let us know where you're experiencing problems in with traffic issues. So tonight, I'd like to introduce a member of the traffic unit for the Saskatoon Police Service, and he's available to answer your enforcement questions tonight. Staff Sergeant Devin Rasico, would you like to address the group this evening before we get started?
Sure, yeah, very good evening to everybody, and thanks for having me to the meeting. And as Natalie mentioned, I'm in charge of the Saskatoon Police Traffic Unit. Our goal is to reduce injury and death caused by traffic collisions, and by doing so, we focus on speed, seatbelt use, distracted driving, and impaired driving. And we use data to determine where to do enforcement with the goal of changing people's behaviors. And we work closely with the city's transportation department to determine if measures other than enforcement can be used to resolve issues. So I'm here to listen to specific neighborhood issues and determine if it's something that we can help with. And of course, if you're on Twitter, you can follow our unit's work at SPS Traffic.
Thanks very much, Staff Sergeant Rasico. It's always great to have you attend these meetings and hear directly from our residents on their concerns. So Julian, would you please share your screen at this point, and we'll get started with an overview of the locations of concerns that we've heard so far.
Sure. So hello everyone. Once again, my name is Julian Petrus, and I'll be the project manager for the CN Industrial NTR. Today we are going to be discussing traffic in your neighborhood, including things you like about the traffic patterns, as well as some of the issues you're currently experiencing. I want to start off by going over the study limits and discussing which roads will and won't be included in the traffic review. On your screen, you should be seeing a map of your neighborhoods. The area I'll be studying is bound by Lorne Avenue to the west, Circle Drive to the north, Clarence Avenue to the east, and the CN mainline rail tracks to the south. The study will look at all of the local and collector roads within this area. If you have any concerns with the surrounding arterial roads like Lorne Avenue or Clarence Avenue, they'll be reviewed under a separate process. So over the past couple of weeks, we've already heard a number of concerns from residents in your neighborhood. So far, the concerns have fallen into three broad categories. Traffic operations, which includes things like parking restrictions, sight lines, signage, etc. Pedestrian safety, which includes requests for new or upgraded pedestrian crossing devices and things like missing sidewalks. and general speeding concerns throughout the neighborhood. I'm going to go through the concerns that we have already heard, but first I want to remind you that we'll be taking a look at your concerns tonight. If there's anything you'd like to discuss tonight, please send it to us through the Q&A feature in Teams, and we'll get to it a bit later in the presentation. So getting back to the feedback we've heard so far, we've had a request for an additional stop sign at Brand Road and Brand Court to clarify the right-of-way for vehicles exiting the Nissan parking lot right at that intersection. We've also heard that there's an issue with speeding on Melville Street throughout the neighborhood. We've also heard that there have been issues with trucks parking in the driving lanes before making their deliveries. And finally, we had a request come in to reduce the speed limit on Melville Street and Brand Road in order to improve pedestrian safety since there are no sidewalks on these roadways. These are just the concerns we've heard so far, and we are here tonight to gather more feedback from you so that we can create a plan for gathering traffic data and performing site observations before coming back to talk with you again in the fall or next year. Now, I'd like to open up the floor for comments and questions, which Natalie will be gathering through the chat box. All of your questions and comments will be documented in the project file and reviewed as part of the project. So do we have anyone online yet, Natalie?
There's still no current attendees, so I think if you want to go ahead and cover the other projects in the area.
Sure. So in the next couple of years, we're going to be doing some road construction within this neighborhood. So in 2021, the city will be completing a microsurfacing project on Brand Road, Brand Place, Brand Court, and on Melville Street. The sections of road included in this project are shown in red on the map on your screen. Microsurfacing involves adding a thin protective layer on top of the existing roadway. This treatment extends the lifespan of the roadway and helps prevent the need for more extensive repairs. And then in 2022, the city will be completing a shallow reconstruction of Melville Street between Portage Avenue and just east of Lorne Avenue. The extents of this project are shown in blue on the map on your screen. A shallow reconstruction involves removing and replacing the asphalt in a portion of the road structure.
Thanks, Julian. Yeah, I'll just clarify that our asset preservation is doing these works, and they have all of their scheduled works for the next 2 years available with an online app, and so we can provide access to that app in the minutes in case people are interested in finding out more. There's still no one live, so no questions or comments to go over. So if you want to jump to next steps.
Sure. So right now we are in stage 1 of the NTR process. Stage 1 involves this public meeting and collecting any other feedback that is sent in through phone, email, letters, or any other method for the next month or so. Once we have finished collecting input from the neighborhood, we'll move into stage 2 of the NTR process, which involves collecting data, conducting field observations, and developing a draft traffic plan that shows how we will address the issues that have been raised. We will begin collecting data this fall. However, there has been a significant change in traffic volume since the beginning of the COVID lockdown. In order to get accurate results, we'll have to wait for traffic volumes to normalize before we can collect some of the data. We've already seen those volumes come back to normal and we can start some of the data collection, but we are monitoring that to make sure that we're being accurate and collecting things when we can. So once the draft traffic plan has been prepared, we'll host a second public meeting to present the draft traffic plan to the neighborhood. There'll be another opportunity for you to provide feedback, and there will be another comment period following the second meeting. Once that comment period has come to an end, the traffic plan will be finalized and a report will be prepared and presented to the Standing Policy Committee on Transportation. The fourth stage is the implementation of the traffic plan, which includes the preparation of plans and the installation of the recommendations. Signage, pavement markings, and temporary traffic calming measures are typically installed within a year after presenting the report. Traffic calming measures will be installed temporarily for a minimum of 1 year. The next is the evaluation stage, which includes the follow-up assessments to determine the effectiveness of the temporary traffic calming measures. Traffic calming measures that are shown to be effective will be scheduled for permanent installation, whereas the traffic calming measures that are shown not to be effective will either be modified or removed. This stage is dependent on stage 4 and will be scheduled to begin 1 year after the temporary traffic calming measures are installed so that we can determine the effectiveness of the measures in all seasons. So that's a brief overview of the NTR process. And I guess I can go right into how to contact me. So I will let you know how to get a hold of me and send me your comments for anyone watching this video later. There are a number of different ways. You can go to Saskatoon.ca/engage and post your comments directly to the CN Industrial NTR page. The city also has an interactive map for reporting traffic issues. A link to the map is shown on this slide. You can also call me at 306-975-3663 or send me a letter using the address shown on the slide. Finally, you can also just send an email to ntr@Saskatoon.ca.
Okay, thanks very much, Julian. Yeah, that's great. You covered a lot of information in a very short amount of time. I hope people get a chance to view the video and let us know any comments or concerns that they have in this neighborhood. The more we hear from those in the neighborhood, the better the draft traffic plan will be when we come back to present that to you next year. So as Julian mentioned, the meeting recording and minutes will be also posted to the Engage page in the next few days. It might take up to a week. It takes us a bit of time to get the closed captioning up and running on the video. So check back on that Engage page. And I just wanted to let everyone know that whoever's provided feedback so far, we really appreciate you taking the time to contact us with your questions, comments, and concerns. It really helps us put together a better traffic plan to address those issues. So on behalf of Julian, Mayor Neal, Staff Sergeant Rasico, and myself, I'd like to thank you all for participating in the CN Industrial Neighborhood Traffic Review, and we look forward to presenting you with a draft plan next year. Thanks so much. Take care.